Hello, welcome to the Knife Yak channel. Today's topic is serrated knives versus plain. I happen to have here two otherwise identical Spyderco Militaries, one serrated and one plain. I'm going to do a little face-off contest. I have here an old pair of shoes, and I'm going to use each one of these knives to cut a shoe in half, and we're going to see which one works better. I will now invite you to pause the video, and you can vote in the comment section on whether you think the serrated knife will work faster and more efficiently than the plain edge version. So go ahead and pause the video. I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, let's resume the contest. Just so you know, these Spyderco Militaries are early versions. These came out in the late 1990s. I bought these probably around 1999, maybe 2000. I'm not exactly sure. These are, the steel is CPM 440V, and you can see the markings on, if I can hold this in a way you can see it. You can maybe read the markings on the blade there. They don't look like this anymore. This is the old liner lock version. They still make these, maybe still, obviously with different steel, but the basic design has been updated. There is now a Military 2 that's been out for a year or so, but these are the old ones, and we're gonna try this. I'm going to start first with the serrated version, and let me kind of discuss my strategy for how I plan to do this. These are hiking shoes. They're manufactured by Keen. Let's see if you can see that. Keen. And the tricky part is going to be the heavy rubbery kind of sole. But they have a leather upper, and there's some synthetic material in there as well inside the shoe, and there's an arch support cushion pad inside there. And if I can get through all the way to the rubber, that's the part that's going to be the trickiest, I think. But it's not as hard as, I don't know, it's kind of like tire rubber, I guess. It's firm, but not you know, like, I mean, it's somewhat resilient and flexible. So I think I'll be able to cut through it. What I have to do also is, as I begin the cut, I have to make sure I avoid these metal reinforcement holes, or these grommets. I don't want to damage the edge on either knife by cutting into that metal. So I'll have to be a little bit careful as I get started. So let's do this. I got the serrated blade first, and we'll see how it goes. We ready? Let's see what happens. Okay, we're through the grommets, we're into the leather, and now things are moving pretty fast. We're getting into the arch support padding. Let's turn this sideways and we can saw through the... Okay, now we're deep into that rubber. We're getting some serious resistance here. The blade's getting hung up on that. There's quite a lot of friction there. Not quite sure how to, there's a ton of friction against the, there we go. We're almost through. Let's do one more cut. Some leather holding this thing together. There we go, we are through. We got 2 halves, and we'll put those aside. Let's get our other knife. This is the plain edge version. And let's have a go. I'm gonna pull these shoelaces so that they're a little tight. There we go. Now, let's see what we go. Or let's see how this goes, rather. Okay, here we go. Ready? I'm gonna pinch it so I can kind of get through those grommets a little easier. All right, we're into the leather. We're through the uppers and into the padding stuff. Okay, I'm gonna turn it sideways. Again, we're getting a lot of friction against the thickest part of the spine there. The rubber is also very grippy, so it's like, all right, we're almost through. There we go. And we are through. So what do you think? I actually, it's hard to say, but I think the plain edge blade worked better. I experienced less hang up at the early part of the cut when I was cutting through the shoelaces and the leather upper. The teeth on the serrated blade were kind of getting hung up on stuff, and I felt there was quite a bit of material getting kind of tangled up and caught. The plain edge blade, as I experienced it, was going more or less just straight through. I could just kind of press into it, and with a little bit of gentle back and forth, I could cut right through that leather. Once I got to the rubber, it was about the same. I didn't notice much difference at all. I don't think the serrations were an advantage. They're maybe not a disadvantage either once I got into that rubber. But yeah, I think all things considered, I'm going to continue preferring a plain edge blade for most of my cutting tasks. And there you go. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you later. Bye.